Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. Who is going to stop Manchester City? I heard somebody last night on the telly say they're a juggernaut that needs stopping. But who is going to stop them? Or is the hype just a little bit too much because they won the derby and they won last night? Man City are on the verge of another treble when you think about it. They go to Liverpool at the weekend, who are depleted. They then play Arsenal at the start of April after an international break at the Etihad. If they win those two games, they probably win another Premier League title, 4 in a row. In the FA Cup, who's really going to stop them? Liverpool, and they've got to go to Old Trafford, where they may well be favourites, but if Man United knock them out, no one's going to stop Man City in the FA Cup. And in the Champions League, I would argue the Champions League may be the easiest path to a trophy for Manchester City, because I don't really see in Europe anybody that's going to cause them a major issue. Can Arsenal fight for the league and the Champions League? That could weaken their cause, which leaves Real Madrid, who I don't feel Real Madrid are actually at the level of a Man City at the moment. So look, a double treble is there for Manchester City, whereas I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, people were like talking, will they win anything? And they are a juggernaut. They do need stopping, but how do you stop them? They have such a momentum. They are a juggernaut. As I said, they have the best striker in the world, arguably the best manager in the world, certainly the best squad in the world. They're a strong defensive side. They've played together for years. And they know how to get the job done at the end. It's really, really concerning. And I know, look, the comments are going to be awash with a certain number, 115, but that is on the authorities. You know, that is a completely separate argument, and I do take it on board. I said it last year. How can people sit watching a team complete the treble, and we saw the media try and make it out to be, oh, this is amazing, it's better than 99 with United. But people aren't stupid. They're like, well, they have got 115 charges next to them. Are we to believe that those charges have something in them? Are they going to all be dropped? If some of them stand, is that why they've got a treble? Because they've cheated along the way? That is all stuff is to come. I would completely agree that it's always going to be there until it gets resolved. And it's hard to see Man City doing what they're doing anyway as a Manchester United fan, but it is also hard to respect it when there is an identifiable set of charges against them that if they found guilty of them, then you'd have to say you wouldn't have had all this success if you'd followed the rules. So look, that is obviously valid, but that's not going to make any difference between now and May, and it didn't stop them winning the treble last year. I think that we need Liverpool to win. We need Liverpool to not lose on Sunday. And I'd say Man City are favourites going into that because, amazingly again, and some would say, it's like money makes money, doesn't it? I remember my granddad saying to me, if you've got money, you'll always make money because you can put it in an account and learn interest. You can buy stuff, this, that and the other. It's hard when you haven't got money. And I think with Manchester City, it's almost like they've got all this success and then other things go their way as well. Luck attracts luck. Whatever you want to call it. And what I mean by that is Liverpool's injury crisis is ridiculous. Man City's injury crisis is virtually non-existent all season. Now, part of that is because Pep Guardiola has a big squad. Part of that is because they've invested so well in their infrastructure. But, again, if Man City had the injuries or half the injuries that Liverpool have got going into these key games, it would be a problem. But they're not. They're at the business end of the season. They've got basically a fully fit squad in relation to who they really want to play. I know Jack Grealish has an injury, and that player from Wolves they bought has had an injury, but realistically their key players are all fit and they're raring to go into the final yards of the season. And this is why I picked them as favourites at the start of the season, and I'm sure many of you did. And this is why I suspect they might do it again. I mean, look, if they were to win a treble, what do you think? If they won a double treble, what do you think? What do you think that is for football? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? I think it's a concerning thing. I think it's a concerning thing on a simple footballing level to have a team that is so far ahead of everybody else that they can win a double treble would be, remarkable. And it sort of belittles what United did, because that I always thought was unachievable for anybody. And for somebody to do it twice in 2 seasons, it's sort of sickening. It's sickening from a United point of view, but it's sickening from a competitive element point of view that, this monster has been built. And if you don't understand the monster that they've built, by the way, financially, they're just destroying everybody, because however they got there, they are there. And what I mean by that is they have a revenue which is massive. Many of us don't understand why it's so big, but Man City make a hell of a lot of money. Their wage bill is pretty decent for their success, to be fair. It's not stupid like United's, who spend loads of money on shit players. So they have a high wage bill, but they have a high quality squad. They have a much higher revenue. They've got a well-run football club. And because they have that gap between revenue and transfers and wages, every summer they can go, there's 200 million on players, and they can do it every single summer, and they are FFP compliant. So it's a juggernaut on and off the pitch. They are better equipped than everybody else. So even with the squad that they've got in the summer, you just go and do it again. It's a bit like playing Football Manager or FIFA with a cheat code, because you win everything, and then in the summer you go, oh, I fancy, actually, I'm just going to get rid of these good players and rotate them out for another 4 world-class players. And that's the thing with Man City. There's, as long as this system is allowed to carry on, there's nothing that stops them other than their own boredom. And what I mean by that is if Pep decides he's had enough and he wants to go and do something else, maybe it'll drop off a little bit. But everybody's just so far off them. I thought when Newcastle came in that they might be able to compete with them, but Newcastle are not FFP compliant. They have the money, but they can't get it into the club. What Man City did so well, illegally or not, was they pumped the money. They were basically Newcastle of 10 years ago, and they found ways to get that money into the club to be revenue, and now they're fine. And there's not really anything that I can honestly say to you that is going to stop this Man City juggernaut. There isn't. I mean, Klopp's leaving in the summer. He somehow defied logic over the last 5 years to go toe-to-toe with them when they don't have the resources. Arteta's done really well, but is he not just another Klopp? I think Arsenal are way overreaching in relation to their squad and the actual infrastructure that they've got. You've got 2 clubs in Arsenal and Liverpool that are massively overachieving compared to what Man City are. If Man City was a Formula 1 car and Liverpool and Arsenal were Formula 1 cars, you would say, well, Man City's the quicker car, it's going to win. And that's what it is. It is a quicker, better car. It should win. What Liverpool and Arsenal are doing is defying logic in many senses in sticking with them. And that's why at the weekend, if you don't want Man City to win a treble, I think Liverpool have got to somehow try and stop them winning, which they're capable of doing, but I think they probably are underdogs. Stop it. How do you stop it? I don't have the answers. Get in the comments. This is what I mean. Enough is enough, because it's competitive element as well. You don't want a league where you've got a team in it that just wins it every year. 4 years in a row. And look, Man United used to win a lot. We did. But it never felt like this. I felt with United, we were very, very good. But this is like, the car's just too quick. It's like Red Bull in Formula 1. It's like that. How do you stop it? I don't know. I think there is a way to stop it, but you need a Jurgen Klopp. You need what Arteta's doing. You need somebody to have an ability to overachieve massively with the resources they've got compared to Man City. And I don't think you can do it consistently. So I don't think Liverpool will do it next year unless they get really, they appoint the right man. Can Arteta keep doing it? It's tough. Are we staring down the barrel of another clean sweep from Manchester City? Get your comments in below. Smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you on the next one.